Good morning, friends. Friends, I am your assistant teacher, Mr. Anil Kumar Swain. Welcomes you to the GYANJYOTI online classes. Students, today we will read the last chapter of your session, of your syllabus 2020-21, and that is from the section Geography. Students, section is Geography. Chapter number is 7. Students, you may be wondering that chapter number 8 is the last chapter. But before, I have already completed that. This one I have left. This is a long chapter, students, that's why. Chapter's name is India, Location and Physical Features. Okay, students, this chapter is about our country, India. How our country has emerged and how it has evolved from the thousands of years ago, from centuries ago. India, students, our motherland is a beautiful country. We all know that due to diversities in every field, in every sector, our country is considered as a beautiful country. And students, we know that according to the area, our country, India, is the 7th largest country in the world. Students, according to area, our country is the 7th largest country in the world. But when it comes to population, it is the second in position, second most populous country in the world after China. So students, India's total landmass is about 3.28 million square kilometer. It is a land of lofty mountains, massive plateaus, and lush green forests. The land is, our country's land is rich in natural resources. There are many rivers running across it, and some of them are perennial. Perennial means, students, the word perennial here means always flowing. Students, just remember the word perennial, it means always flowing. That river doesn't stop. They flow across wide plains, starting from melted water of glaciers, and have water all year round. Students, there are a large variety of soils to grow, different types of crops. Monsoons bring rains to different parts of our country after the hot summer months. Now students, you know, now our country is experiencing rainy season, and rainfall is there due to monsoon, due to the low pressure created in the seas or oceans. Then students, what happens? Its landscape varies from the barren sands of the Thar desert situated in Rajasthan to the mighty Himalayan mountains in the north, to the coastal areas, to the Deccan areas of the South Indian states, to the dense tropical forests of Assam and Northeast. However, students, fertile river and high plateaus cover much of the country. India contains of the entire Indian peninsula. Students, you know there is a word called peninsula. Students, peninsula means a land mass which is covered by water from all the three sides, but its fourth side is not covered by water. That is called a peninsula. Then India consists of the entire peninsula part of the Asian mainland and two island chains. So what are the islands, students? That is the Andaman Nicobar Islands on one side, and the other side it is Lakshadweep Islands. So they all are part of the country. Students, then the people of our country, the people of India belong to many different ethnic groups. Ethnic means, students, the racial groups, and speak different languages. India's culture, like its people, is a rich mosaic whose varied elements have been born of its ancient roots. Foreign influences and regional variety. People from all over the world came and settled in India in the past, which has resulted in a variety of languages being spoken. Many kinds of food eaten and customs followed. Increasing population is the main environmental concern for India. We have a large population which is an asset in terms of human resources. But to meet their needs, we have to plan and progress scientifically. India also has an extraordinary diversity of landscapes and vegetation. Students, due to its different varied climatic conditions, India have different landscape, different climate, different weather conditions across the country. They are not same always. Students, India also has an extraordinary diversity of landscape and vegetation, supporting a rich variety of wildlife. Students, yesterday we have studied the chapter climate and natural vegetation. Then Himalayas in the north to the western and eastern Ghats in the south. So these are the varieties of landscape which our country has possessed or which our country has. So students, in this chapter we will study about the country's location and physical features. Students, the first subtopic here is location. Where is our country located? So, students, what about the location? Students, India is located north of the equator. Okay, north of the equator, between 8 degree 4 minutes. So this is the location, 8 degree 4 minutes and 37 degree 6 minutes. North latitudes, and students, the next is 68 degree 7 minutes, 68 degree 7 minutes and 97 degrees 25 minutes east longitudes. Students, this is the position of our country. Geographical position in latitudes and longitudes chapter. Students, I have told you that by knowing the latitudes and longitudes, the coordinates, that is called the coordinates, we can know the particular location of a place. Students, as such it covers about 29 degree of latitudes and longitudes. The north-south extent of India is about 3200 km from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Just look at the extent of our country is 3200 km from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Okay, friends. Then, and from east to west, that is from Arunachal Pradesh to Kutch in Gujarat. Students, it is about, as I have told you that students, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari it is 3200 kilometers, and from Arunachal Pradesh to Kutch. Arunachal Pradesh to Kutch, it is 2900 kilometers. Students, it is just look, it is 3200 kilometers from north to south, and it is 2900 kilometers from Arunachal Pradesh to Kutch, means east to west. Just a gap of 300 kilometers. But look how vast, how huge it is. It has a land frontier of 15,200 kilometers and coastline of about 7,500 kilometers. Students, 7,500 kilometers of coastline. So just look, 7,500 kilometers of coastline from Gujarat to West Bengal. If you have a look at the map of our country, then you can know. And students, one more thing you have to see that Gujarat is the state in our country which is the longest coastline. Students, I am telling you that 17,500 kilometers is the long coastline from Gujarat to West Bengal, and Gujarat is the state in our country which is the longest coastline. Then students, the Tropic of Cancer passes almost midway through India. Therefore, peninsular India, that is our country, is known as the peninsula. The lower part of our country is known as the peninsula, lies in the tropical region, and whereas the northern India is subtropical. Students, as I have told you that the Tropic of Cancer passes through midway of our country. Therefore, the peninsular India is situated in the tropical region, we can say, and the northern part of our country, that is situated in the subtropical region. Students, then in the location section we will see India lies at the head of the Indian Ocean and is the only country after which an ocean has been named. Students, as you know that there are many oceans, then Indian Ocean is the only ocean in the world that is named after a country, that is called our India. This shows the importance of India as a trading nation in the world from the ancient times. Students, in history we have studied that the trade or the business was carried out with different countries from times immemorial. From India, different products were being exported, and some products we also bought from the foreign countries. So, the Himalayas, students, the Himalayan mountains, they form a giant wall to the north. Students, the Himalayan mountains are so vast, so huge that it acts as a wall in the north, separating India from the rest of the Asia. Students, due to the location or position of the Himalayas, it acts as a wall, and it makes us different from the rest of the Asia. Passes in the Himalayas both to the east and west, means small roads, gateways, have been used for countries for both invasions by the Mongols, Uzbeks, Turks, Afghans, and as well as trade routes from their countries and from Europe also. Students, then the oil-rich Persian Gulf, okay, it was all about the Himalayas. Then the oil-rich Persian Gulf lies to India's west. The African continent lies to the southwest of India. Students, now we will study that what are the neighboring continents of our country. The African continent lies to the southwest of India, across the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean, and directly across India to the south is the continent of Antarctica, and on one side it is the continent of Australia also. And one of the most spectacular areas of the earth, Antarctica is considered as one of the most spectacular areas of the earth. Students, now we will study that there are Afghanistan and Pakistan, and there are other neighboring countries also which surround us. Students, do you know that who are our neighboring countries and what are their names? Have you ever tried to know? So let me tell you that the neighboring countries of our country India are, there are Pakistan and Afghanistan in the west, Nepal, Bhutan, China in the north, and Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east. And students, one of our neighboring countries is also Sri Lanka, but it is separated. It is not with joined with India, but there are some differences between in the distance, that is, but it is also one of our neighboring countries. Students, to the southeast lie the equatorial Southeast Asian islands with several volcanoes, and that is the continent of Australia, which is rich in minerals and animal resources. India is connected to Europe through the Suez Canal, and with China, Japan and Australia through the Malacca Canal. Students, India is connected with Europe with the Suez Canal, This is an important. Then it is connected with China and Japan, which is the Malacca Strait. Next, students, we will study about our states and union territories. Students, you know, in the last year, that is in the year 2019, a new, means not a single, but 2 union territories were created, and that is from the state of J&K, that is called the Jammu and Kashmir. So, students, how many states are there? Do you know how many states? Previously, there were 28 states and 9 union territories. Sorry, students, there are 28 states and 9 union territories in our country, including the national capital territory of Delhi. Students, now we will study that what are the states. Let me tell you. First of all, we will start from north. Himachal Pradesh, whose capital is Shimla. Next is, students, Punjab, whose capital is Chandigarh. Next is Haryana, its capital is also Chandigarh. Then Rajasthan, whose capital is Jaipur. Gujarat, whose capital is Gandhinagar. Then Maharashtra, whose capital is Mumbai. Madhya Pradesh, capital is Bhopal. Karnataka, whose capital is Bengaluru. Kerala, capital is Thiruvananthapuram. Tamil Nadu, its capital is Chennai. Andhra Pradesh, capital is Hyderabad. Odisha, our own Odisha, our state Odisha, its capital is Bhubaneswar. Bihar, capital is Patna. Jharkhand, capital is Ranchi. Chhattisgarh, its capital is Raipur. Uttarakhand, its capital is Dehradun. Uttar Pradesh, capital is Lucknow. Goa's capital is Panjim. West Bengal, its capital is Kolkata. Sikkim, its capital is Gangtok. Assam, its capital is Dispur. Meghalaya, its capital is Shillong. Then Arunachal Pradesh, its capital is Itanagar. Nagaland, its capital is Kohima. Manipur, its capital is Imphal. Tripura, its capital is Agartala. Mizoram, its capital is Aizawl. Telangana, its capital is Hyderabad. Students, these were the 28 states. You must be wondering where one state gone. Jammu and Kashmir is divided and created as 2 union territories. Okay, students. Then let's come to the union territories. Students, there are 28 states as I told you, and 9 UTs, that is the union territories. Union territories. What are the, students? The first one is, students, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. That capital is Port Blair. This is an island. Then the second is Lakshadweep. This is also an island situated in the Arabian Sea. That is called Kavarthi. Its capital is Kavarthi. Then, student, next is Puducherry or Pondicherry. Its capital is Pondicherry. Then, student, next UT is Daman and Diu. Its capital is Daman, situated in Gujarat. Next is Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Its capital is Silvassa. Next is, students, Chandigarh. Its capital is itself is Chandigarh. Delhi NCR. NCR means, students, National Capital Territory. Its capital is Delhi itself. Then Jammu and Kashmir. Its capital is Jammu, west, and Srinagar in the south. Ladakh. Its capital is Leh. Students, what does NCR means? Delhi being the national capital region. Students, along with Delhi, national capital region, where it is count, there are 4 cities surrounded by it. There are the Faridabad, Gurgaon, Ghaziabad, and Noida. So these are the 4 cities which surrounds Delhi, and thereby it is known as the Delhi NCR. Students, this was all about the location. This was all about different states and UTs. Now students will study about the physical features. So the first physical divisions will start from the mountains. First one is mountain. Physical divisions in physical divisions section. In the physical division section, students, India has a very distinct physical features that divide the country into following 5 main physical divisions. Students, in India, due to its large size, different physical features can be seen. Somewhere there is desert, as I have told you, somewhere there is coastal area, somewhere there is snowfall, somewhere there is high mountainous region which is sometimes inaccessible. So there are 5 physical divisions, students. The first one is mountains. Then students, second one is the Great Plains, Great Plateaus, then coastal plains, and the fifth one is the islands. Students, therefore, our country, India, having a large variety of physical features, India is divided into 5 physical divisions. The first one is the northern mountains, Himalayas. The northern mountains. That is the first subtopic. That is the first physical division of our chapter, or the subtopic physical division. Students, you know that Himalayas are one of the greatest mountain ranges of the world. So the word Himalaya, what does it mean? Him plus Alaya in Sanskrit means abode of snow. Students, him plus Alaya. This is a Sanskrit word. It means abode of snow. Snow mountains. Students, if you will ever visit Himalayas, then you can see that how vast, how huge it is. The Himalayas are the highest mountain chain in the world. As I have told you, it is the highest mountain chain. In the world. They are the most spectacular of the world's mountains. These mountains form the entire northern boundary of India. This form the entire northern boundary of India. It covers, it acts like a wall, running from 2500 kilometers southeastwards with a width of 100 to 400 kilometers. Students, just look, 2500 kilometers. How far it is spread, just from southeastwards with a width of 100 to 400 kilometers. The Himalayas cover a vast area of land in India. They lie in the states of J&K, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Students, just look that the Himalayas, they lie in, students, J&K means Jammu and Kashmir, then Himachal Pradesh, then Uttarakhand, students, you know, Uttarakhand, then Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh. It is spread across these states. And the Kanchenjunga is the highest peak of the Himalayas in India, the Kanchenjunga. You must have studied in your GPA, general knowledge. Kanchenjunga is the highest mountain peak of Himalayas in India. Mount Everest is not situated in India, friends, but it is the highest mountain peak in the world. There are numerous hill tracts like the Naga, Mizo, Khasi, Jaintia, Garo hills in the northeastern part of India, with an average elevation of 1000 to 2000 meters. Students, these are the hill tracts, means small hills, you can say, cliffs. The Himalayas were formed comparatively recently in the Earth's history. Therefore, the Himalayas are known as the young fold mountains, and therefore it is known as the young fold mountains. Students, and they run in a series of parallel ridges. Therefore, it is known as the young fold mountains of the world. The Aravalli range in India. Students, just look. The Aravalli range in India. Students, Himalayas is considered as a young mountain then. Aravallis in India. The Aravallis in India and the Appalachian in USA. Appalachian in USA and the Urals in Russia. Urals in Russia is the oldest, is the older mountain range. Students, the Himalayan consists of 3 parallel ranges that I am writing here. Students, first of all, look here that the Aravallis in India, Appalachians in USA and the Urals in Russia is the older mountain ranges than Himalayas. Then students, the Himalaya is divided into 3 mountain ranges, majorly that I will write here. First one is the students. I will tell the Himalaya consists of 3 parallel ranges. That is, the first one is Himadri or the Great Himalayas. Himadri or the Great Himalayas. Students, and the second one is Himachal or Middle Himalayas. Himachal. And students, the third one is the Shivalik. Students, the first one is Himadri or the Great Himalayas. Second one is Himachal or Middle Himalayas. And the third one is Shivalik. These are the 3 parallel ranges of the Himalayas. Himadri, the highest, is snow covered with an average height of 6000 meters. Students, just look, it is 6000 meters. Above sea level, 6000 meters above sea level. Mount Everest, also locally known as Sagarmat. Students, Mount Everest is the other name. Other name is Sagarmat. It is the highest peak in the world and is located in the Himalayas, on the border between Nepal and China. Students, next is most of the hill stations of India like Shimla, Kullu, Manali are located in Himachal or the Middle Himalayas. Students, this one is the Middle Himalayas. if you will visit J&K, Himachal Pradesh, most of the famous hill stations of our country are located in the middle Himalayas. Next students, Shivaliks. So what are Shivaliks? The Shivaliks, the southernmost range which runs from Jammu to Nepal. Students, just look, Jammu to Nepal is not a continuous range. Its average height is 1000 meters. This is students 1000 meters above sea level. The Himalayas have been a natural and politically barrier for centuries and isolated people from the rest of the world. So the people living in these mountains have developed their own distinct culture. They have been isolated for the location of the place, that is Himalaya. The Himalaya students prevent the cold Siberian winds from which comes from the north side to India. Man has been fascinated by the sheer magnificence of these mountains and has made a number of roads connecting different peoples and different places, sorry, not student peoples, different places, so that even the most remote areas are now accessible. However, students, the growing penetration of man in these mountains has led to a number of environmental degradation problems. Students, due to the high penetration, the mountainous area of Himalayas is facing some environmental degradation. So students, for today, this was the part 1 of the video, and today I will end this video here, and in the next video, students, will read about the next chapter. Okay students, for today, goodbye all of you.